if you've already got a product that is selling well on Amazon.com, for instance, and you can just insert any marketplace here. If you already got a product that's selling well on Amazon.com, then it ought to have reviews. And so when you bring that product and start selling it on Amazon.com.au, then if you use the UPC, the Universal Product Code, to list the product, Amazon will drag any reviewers from any other marketplaces onto the one you're going to sell on, so you'll get the reviews for your new product. Okay, so you can miss that phase of the launch process. Very difficult to launch a product without reviews. So what's different? Well, what's different? For me, your launch has only got one goal. There's only one goal with a launch of a product, okay? What is that goal? The goal is to rank your product on page 1, position 1, for your search term that you're going after. That's, for me, what your launch is all about. Every other consideration takes second place to that, because as soon as you rank your product, page 1, position 1, then you ought to, if you've done your research properly, start making sales just based on the web traffic that Amazon gets for that given search term. Okay, so you kind of so you launch so that you can get Amazon to give you the customers afterwards. That's the basic premise of a launch. So for me, what I do is I run typically 3 different advertising or traffic strategies for a launch. Those 3 are Amazon PPC. So I'm running Amazon PPC, which is a brilliant way of making some sales for a product. It's also a really good way of securing search engine position, so search rank. It's also a great way for making your rank what I call sticky, so that your listing stays in the place where you want it to stay. And it's also a great way to get your product indexed for a diverse range of search terms. Okay, so bottom line, Amazon PPC, really, really good. Next, I do Google AdWords. So I do Google AdWords, and I send my Google Ads clicks directly to the product details page. So what the hell does that mean? So this is Glenn's thing, which we're going to talk about in just a little while, and that's the product details page. You can see up here, if we take out what the product details page URL looks like, is amazon.com/dp/ASIN number. That's a very, very basic Amazon URL that will take you to the Amazon details page for your given product, okay? And that's what I use for Google AdWords. That's what I do for Google Ads. Next, I also do Facebook ads, and typically for one of my Facebook ads, if I am not selling in the United States, so the USA is different, but we're talking about Australia now. So if I'm doing Australia, what I do is I do Facebook ads, and I run my Facebook ads to a landing page, which I've covered heaps and heaps of times before, in landing page that I build in lead pages. And from the lead page in Australia, I use something called a 2-step URL. A 2-step URL. So that is pretty standard as far as my own particular launch sequence goes for a new product into the Australian market. There are lots and lots of variations of that, dependent upon what other marketing assets I've got in place, email lists, Facebook followers, Instagram followers, shit like that. But as a standard kind of like, this is your plan A, this is your control, that's a really good plan. All right, so if you are interested, I should also tell you as well that, because I know I'll get the questions, budget. So how much do you budget for your launch? Well, here's the deal. Your budget will be dictated by the competitiveness of the search term that you're trying to rank for. So if you're trying to rank for the search term protein powder, which is a huge search term where you can make a shitload of money for it, then you should expect to invest more money into that search term to rank for it. You should not expect for it to just be able to spend $20 on it and rank. That's unrealistic. For something like protein powder, you're more likely to need to spend $1,500 to $2,000 to rank for that sort of search term, okay? Versus something like vegan protein powder, where there's less people searching for it, so there's less competition for it, versus something like vegetarian protein powder for dogs, which by the way is a real thing, where there'll be even less people searching for it, even less competition, and therefore you can invest less to own the top spot on Amazon, okay? And then as far as how long should you run the campaign for, well, here's something that most people don't realize. Amazon, as far as for SEO purposes, Amazon works in 7-day increments. So how long should you do a launch? At least 7 days. At least 7 days. But then once you've got to 7 days, then anything after that is useless until you get to 14 days. So Amazon works in 7-day increments. So don't do like a 10-day launch. That's bullshit. The 3 days won't, outside of your first 7, won't count for anything. So it's just wasted money. You're better off doing 14 days because then that will count. I think that's everything. I think that kind of covers it all. If you are interested in that kind of stuff and you really, really are interested in SEO and how to launch and how to rank your products, you may well send to all my Amazon SEO course, which is at amazonseo.com.au, where I go into a lot more detail about how to rank your products on page 1, position 1 of Amazon. I show you the ins and outs of what actually works on Amazon. What work based on data, not some freaking guesswork, but based on accurate data, what actually works versus all the BS you normally hear from people. Anyway, if that's of interest, go get the SEO course. It's super cool. Vegetarian protein powder for dogs is a real thing. All right, so notice 2-step URL. I said Australia. All right, don't be asking me questions about America, place like that. I'm talking about Australia. All right, different strategies for different marketplaces. You should not expect one strategy to work in all marketplaces. It really does. And you can do different things in different markets depending on the marketplace. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.